Alright, what's up guys? This is my custom LEGO Hall of Justice set. Kind of like a UCS type thing. I was so surprised they had not done anything like this before. But honestly, yeah, this took me like at least 4 days to make. I kind of modeled it after the X Mansion set that recently came out. I think it's out. But yeah, I was just so surprised they hadn't done a Hall of Justice. And after the new Superman movie, I was just really fiending to make something like this. My creative juices were flowing. So let's get right into this. Basically, at the front, I painted this gold. We've got the little fountain here. Over here, we got Superman. I'll do a full fig showcase later on in the video. But right now, yeah, Superman, also kind of modeled after the Cyclops type thing in the X Mansion set. He is, where he has that laser beam coming out of his eyes. And then Grundy, great fig, because we have not gotten a Grundy, I don't think, ever. And it's great because he's kind of a Justice League type villain. Over here, we've got our main villain of the set, our Brainiac. It's kind of being held up here. He's got this cool little build, his brain ship. I tried to modernize it. Usually it's green. Actually, surprisingly, sometimes, most of the time it's gray, but I didn't have very many green hollow translucent, so I just used blue. Worked out pretty good. I'll probably just end up doing a review of that also later in the video, just separately. But let's keep going. We got Martian Manhunter over here and Supergirl flying around. This front part, honestly, probably took me the longest. Just like trying to design that arch was a bit hard. But yeah, this front part was the hardest. Then we can take a look inside, or actually around here, and then I promise I'll let us inside. But then we got Flash, and we have never had a Godspeed fig. I just thought Reverse Flash was a bit overused, so I made a custom Godspeed. I think this would really drive up the set, to be honest. Anyways, let's take a look inside. Let me take this off. It's a bit tougher than the other walls. The other walls come off easier, but I don't know why I did the full line instead of just a few. But this comes straight off that wall, and then you can kind of see on the inside. We got the statue of whoever the warrior that's usually in front of the Hall of Justice. Down here we've got kind of the meeting up room where they have their meetings. That table behind Wonder Woman, you can kind of see the pool table that they play at. Behind there, I'll take this wall off and we can get a better view. That's what's the beauty of this. You can't take it off, but all walls off, and it can be more Batcave style with how the Lego Batcaves usually are. So I like that. Over here we got Green Lantern and the two different suits that come with it. Kind of in this display case, we got John Stewart's suit and also Guy Gardner's suit. He's kind of deciding which suits to wear to gear up for battle. And then over here we got the kind of screen. Usually the screen is like here and there's no door. I just wanted a door, so I moved the screen up here. I like that better. Then there's the little cup, and then you can work on the screen. Over here we got kind of the Batman portion. This side's Green Lantern, this one's more Batman. And then down there's like everybody. But over here we got Joker tied up. He's incapacitated. And then we got Batman working on some science stuff. He's got his armory here. It's always got that kind of stuff going on. And then yeah, you can pop off this wall. You can see there's the ladder. You can kind of get a better view of the pool table in there. There's also this like snack device kind of. It's a bit half-baked, but it's whatever. Moving on, then also you might have noticed this little cell part. You can open this door. Oh, actually I did not notice after I moved that, but usually it would open. Maybe I'll fix that later. But you can kind of see inside there. There's like these windows. You get a better view once you take off this wall. You can see inside. It's a little jail cell. We got the bench. We got this little toilet, this jail toilet where Luthor's sitting on. He's got his little handcuffs on. We'll just pop him back in there. During this invasion, we got the Joker and Luthor do come with this set, but they're not really the main villains. Over here we got the main battles going on. So we can pop these walls back on. As I said, it's pretty easy. This one's the bit of the harder wall. And now I believe we can get into, actually I'm gonna pull this off. It's a bit delicate. I'm gonna pull this off, we're gonna review this, then we'll do fig showcase. So yep, here we go. It does stand up on its own, which I think is pretty good. It's a little tentacle to hold it up. Oh, not very well apparently, but that's okay. Let's pop it back down. It's maybe a bit lopsided, but that's okay. As you can see, here's where it's standing up. I only had one of those clear ones, so I used blue. Honestly, I kind of like it more. It looks like it's beaming down a bit, like the UFO abduction. But moving on to the actual thing, we got these turrets on the side. You would put in, I only had red, so I didn't really want to ruin the vibe of the build, but you can pop missiles in there. And then you can see our Brainiac in there. We can move this up, and then this opens up fully, and you can kind of see inside. Oh goodness. Yeah, that back turret is not too stable. I just had to put it back. But yeah, you can see Brainiac in there. You'll see more of him in the Fig showcase. I know he's a bit dark. Kind of see him through the side windows too. But yeah, and you'll see this back part also opens up. You can slide that down and see in the back. That's where you usually like get him out, put him back in, because this side's a bit blocked. This is like the control center, and then this is where he'll like exit the vehicle like that. And yeah, that's pretty much the build for this. So now we can get into the Fig showcase. All right, so here's our figures. We have 13 of them in all. 7 members of the Justice League and 5 villains, 1 big fig. Technically 12 figures, 1 big fig. But yeah, members of the Justice League, we got our classic Superman with a bit of the modifications on the chest. I gave him that little loop on the belts from the new Superman movie. I tried to make him more accurate to that. Pop him there. And then we have our Batman that's more accurate to the original Lego Batman game that was on the Xbox 360, I believe. Where he has the trunks and the black cape, still black, of course. But yeah, and then our third member, we got the Flash. He's more custom, to be honest, with less of the belt, but more red, and he would have dual molded legs. And I love that lightning effect that I put on the side of the hands. I think that works very well. Then we got our Green Lantern. I think I made his eyes maybe a little bit too big, but that's alright. We got our custom Green Lantern ring and dual molded legs. We also got our Wonder Woman. No crown, unfortunately, but I do like the effect I did on the trunks with the like stars and then the gold too. I like that modification, honestly. Looks more like armor. And then we got our Supergirl. You'll notice compared to Superman, her cape's a little bit shorter, because I was originally going to use this cape for a custom Adam Eve, but then I didn't like turn it pink, and this ended up looking like a lot more accurate to Supergirl for some reason, so I just used it here. I think it looks pretty good. This is actually not a modified torso. This is the original from I think the first set she ever came out in, the Supergirl set where she was also with Martian Manhunter and fighting Brainiac, I believe. So this is a good reunion, I guess. This is a custom Martian Manhunter, though. I have no idea where my old Martian Manhunter went. That's a little wonky, but I don't know. It kind of fits. But yeah, classic Martian Manhunter, blue cape, stuff like that. Then we got our Lex, also classic Lex, I guess, where he's got his disdained face and his classic suit. Also Joker, pretty accurate. Also to the Lego Batman game that came out on the 360, the original one. So they're kind of twinning there. But yeah, that's the style I went for there with the purple suit and stuff. And then of course we have our first ever Godspeed fig. If this set were to be released, of course, I'm sure people have done customs before. But yeah, I customed him here. Looks all right, to be honest. I wanted him to have different lighting than the Flash, so I gave him orange. And then we have our Brainiac. I really like this design, honestly. The other Brainiac we got was more cartoony. This is like really realistic. This came out more realistic than I would like, but he looks really alien for some reason. I like that kind of style. But yeah, there he is. And then our big fig Grundy, of course, modeled from the Hulk. You can kind of see remnants of green there, but yeah, I just whited out the hands. I think he looks all right, to be honest. I would really like maybe some chains around the hands. Lego would knock it out of the park, I'm sure. But yeah. That is my custom Hall of Justice set. It came out to around 1,000 pieces, but I'm sure Lego, like, I used a lot of like random big pieces, so Lego would probably find a way to add more, just so that they could get that much extra money out of the customer. They seem to be pretty good at that. So it would probably retail around $300. So yeah, this would end up retailing around usually like $500. I think that was where the X-Mansion set was at. But yeah, let me know what do you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.